I have searched far and wide for the perfect solo base. And this, I would say, is my holy grail. My best base ever. You got 2 raid defense bedrooms, with lockers and storage. You got shooting floor peaks and roof peaks. You got a full and beautiful wide gap shooting floor. You got, get this, a floating pixel bunker. Which nobody ever finds these, but they're unlootable anyway. And trust me, you will be surprised by how much you can stuff into 3 lockers. Oh, almost forgot. You got a second floating pixel bunker. So actually 6 lockers. Going down into the core, you have multiple protected loot rooms and many garage doors for raiders to choke on. And at the Grail's heart lies a vending machine TC bunker. Three walls to TC, by the way. Now outside the base you have turret pod gatehouses designed to delight anyone in or around your compound. Oh, I meant delete. Sorry. These can of course be operated manually or using switches. And even your external TCs are bunkers where you can hide more loot. But the single most incredible thing about this base is easily the upkeep cost. That is the most cost-effective base I've ever seen. For anyone who'd raid it, it's an absolute nightmare, and for you it's a chill wipe with next to no farming. The Grail. It's the best base I've ever designed or used, and now I'm gonna teach you how to build it. But first I wish to thank this video's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Now, every great game has some serious endgame challenge, something to test the skills of even a master. Well, in Raid Shadow Legends, that endgame is Doom Tower. These bosses are really tough. But just like Rust, Raid is expanding every month with new champions, items and skills that you can try against them. This month, Raid's expanded with a brutal new dungeon, the Iron Twins Fortress, completing which will grant you access to the new Awakening system, allowing you to customize your champions with blessings that can completely change how they perform in battle. Also new is the legendary Death Knight champion, which you can get for free. Just play Raid for 7 days before October 27th and he's yours. And use this promo code to boost your strongest hero up to level 50. And if you try Raid Shadow Legends for the first time using my link or QR code, you'll get $30 worth of free stuff, including champions and in-game currency. Click here to claim these treasures. So, links in the description, and thank you Raid Shadow Legends. And now, we build. We start with some pixel gapping. I usually use my easy campfire method, but you can use another one if you want to. Just crouch strafe towards the campfire until you get this up and down bumping motion. Look very carefully at the triangle. Whoop! Saw that? Look again. Whoop! So right after the whoop, place a twig triangle, and without moving your mouse, push another one as deep as you can into the first. Now from the new triangle, the left one, do this. And this set of triangles will form your base core. So upgrade the front one and make it into a TC compartment, protected by a single door. You can then add a central foundation and close yourself in like so. Good, next comes a roof exit, which I do from the inside for safety. And as a jump up, you can use this twig shelf to begin with, but as soon as you get a furnace, place it here and add a double door. Great! And with the core being pretty well secured, you can go outside, turn right, and honeycomb this triangle. By the way, this is the TC triangle we're honeycombing, so useful upgrade. And with the TC nice and honeycombed, go back on top and close the second floor like so. Good, good! Now just behind the door, use a wood ceiling and door frame, as we'll want to soft side these for later expansion. And the inner door should open outwards, so as to form an airlock. And this here is going to be a large loot room. Now to avoid the dreaded triangle splash bug, first add these triangles. Then place 2 triangles through the wall, which you can do in Rust. Then remove the inner triangles and build them back from the outside in. Place the ceilings from the outside in as well, much for the same reason. And in case you think this step is weird and you can skip it, this is what's going to happen. As you can clearly see, this triangle is undamaged, but unfortunately it's incorrectly placed. Incorrectly placed? Correctly placed. I have a full video on this wonderful phenomena, link in the description. So back to the loot room. A window frame goes here eventually, but not yet, as you need these tiles accessible for upgrades. So let's put a pin in that for now and go outside. Here you want to very deliberately attach a foundation to the right wall and another to the left wall. Hammer in hand, make sure the blue particles are flowing left to right on both triangles. Or alternatively, make sure both triangles have a large stone texture at the top right corner. And do make sure it's correct before you upgrade, or the pixel bunkers might not work. And finally, for this stage, arrange yourself some semi-permanent way to get in, and the starter base is done. Now, as starter bases go, I think this is actually a really good one. At the cost of 10 stone nodes, you have 5 doors to a honeycombed TC, space for a workbench, furnaces, and with the incomprehensibly imbalanced increased box capacity, effectively infinite storage. I mean for a solo. For wipe day, I think it's perfect. So go make some plays, farm a bit, because in the next stage of the build, we're turning this into an absolute tank. Alright, time to expand. So let's just get rid of these. Add a double door instead. Garage door even better, especially this one. And a roof exit like so. Then turn right. Upgrade these 2 foundations lest we forget. And build a ground floor entrance like so. Now, if you don't have a ladder yet, use twig platforms. But if you are the proud owner of a ladder, upgrade these walls, add honeycomb like so, and there you go. Great, now we honeycomb the entire base. Starting under the old entrance, clear out the garbage, upgrade the left wall, and build up 2 levels of honeycomb like so. Going right, no need to upgrade anything here, just 2 levels of honeycomb. And here upgrade the right wall, and once more deliberately attach 1 foundation to the right side and 1 to the left. checking that the placement is indeed correct before upgrading. And again, 2 levels of Honeycomb. Excellent! Now don't forget to attach the triangles from the outside in very deliberately. Now add walls all around. And okay, time for some internal design. So on the second floor, this door now leads to Narnia. Just kidding, this door now leads to absolutely nowhere, so replace it with a vending machine and use as a jump up. Now up we go to the third floor. First, to the right of the roof chute, upgrade these floors, and then do the outside-in shelf trick from the second floor, adding twig shelves inside, building out from them, removing the inside ones, and rebuilding from the outside in. Now carefully attach the ceilings from the outside in also, which is especially important here because of how the bunkers work, or alternatively don't work, possibly, if you screw this up. And congratulations! It's a loot room. Now add a wall to the left, and this here will be the roof exit. Okay, now we go to these 2 triangles, which again we upgrade before creating another 2-triangle loot room, and 1 more loot room of identical make in this corner. Good! Now add as many garage doors as you can possibly afford before closing it all up, also adding a roof exit, entrance oriented towards the center of the base. Lastly, for this stage, we shall add external TCs to give us some anti-griefing protection and in preparation for the shooting floors. So, starting at the front door, build back 2 twig squares and a metal one, then replace the twigs with a kind of Pac-Man shape. I mean, it's whatever. Anyway, you do 1 stone triangle, followed by 3 twig ones and a square, and the external TC itself goes on this triangle. Now, there are many ways to make disconnectable external TCs, and the one I've been using is my 2-triangle mini bunker, which has absolutely no weaknesses, can fit several boxes worth of storage, and is cost effective to upgrade to HQM, which I actually always end up doing. I often store stuff in there overnight, nobody ever looks there, it's great. And if you want a full tutorial of how to build them, link in the description. The way it works is you add a roof outside, which breaks the bunker open. See, it's nothing complicated. Now for the disconnectable part of the disconnectable TC, add a wall here, and connect using frames. So if your main TC gets destroyed, you disconnect the external TC, replace your main TC, and reconnect. And then we add an amazing gatehouse inspired by my friend Caustic. It's basically a cool way to have turret cover both inside and outside your compound. As you can see, it's just a bunch of frames. Here we prepare a triangle shelf inside the gatehouse. One turret aims slightly more towards the right and the other to the left. And these doors, when opened, form an impassable airlock with anyone outside getting evaporated, which is good, clean fun. And finally, we can improve our door situation with a little widegap based airlock. Or you could go a bit bigger. Either way, add a second external TC on the opposite side of the base and farm up for stage 3, where we complete the main structure, adding some fantabulously sleek bunkers and shooting floors. Alright, shooting floors. First, add 3 levels of support frames on the wide-gapped foundations. Then, on top, create wide-gap platforms like so. And I can tell you from experience that these gaps are incredibly good. So with that done on both sides, we're now left with these openings in our shooting floor. Here we shall add these free-handed gaps, which for me are almost painfully beautiful to look at. Here's how it works. From the right wall, add a twig triangle and a square on which you'll build 2 low walls facing away from the base. Now crouch, push forward, and aim for the center of this little triangle. Now take out your hammer and demolish. Take a tiny step back and place. Excellent! Now from our new free-handed square, turn left and place 3 triangles. Then demolish this and replace with a twig square. And finally, these permanent foundations. And this will actually connect back to the base for upkeep through this frame, which should have 79% stability.
Good!
Now add support frames, away from the wall so as to be less vulnerable to splash damage, and complete the shooting floor. Now I bet it hasn't escaped your peering peepers that all of my window embrasures are on the inside, which yes looks weird, but bear with me for a moment. Look what a wide view you get, and how to track a moving target you just have to slide along the wall a tiny bit. And compare that to this tiny almost useless slit. Ugh, just terrible. Much better. You know what, just test it yourself and you can thank me later. Also, I love these peaks. You shall not pass. And now come the bunkers. Standing on the newly built square platform and looking towards the roof entrance, upgrade these 2 triangles. Metal is good, HQM even better. Then to the left a half wall. And do this. Top one first, bottom one second, and here we have a gorgeous horizontal pixel gap. So, prepare a bunker compartment and place 3 locked lockers with their side to the gap. Now if you're not solo, get your friends to auth on the code locks because they're about to become inaccessible. I mean the code locks, not your friends. Well, maybe your friends, I don't know what they're up to. Either way, close the bunker. You will notice that the gap is completely inaccessible and even a bit hard to spot. For comfortable access, you can use any of these placeables. You just have to know exactly where to place them. For siren lights, get the blue outline to just cover this little smudge. For shotgun trap, the wooden leg goes right here. But easiest of all is the smart alarm, which you just plop down on the floor. And trust me, you can get a lot of prime loot in there. This is just 1 locker out of 6 that you're gonna have. Now, it's important to know that with the campfire method, you never upgrade these half-walls to HQM, or it stops working. There exist other methods, but they're inconsistent and sometimes require special items that you might not have at the beginning of wipe. Google it, I guess. And of course, don't forget to pick up your placeable when going offline. Now we continue with the second bunker. So go to the other free-handed square, and the bunker is gonna go right here. First, upgrade this wall and rotate. Then upgrade the 2 triangles. Again, metal is good, but HQM even better. And then do this. Second triangle connects to the first. Then top. and bottom. And do make sure you have a tiny gap here before continuing to place lockers and closing the bunker. Two pixel bunkers, done. Now just add an airlock here, leading to the shooting floor. A battery compartment here will buffer splash damage for the bunkers. And here you can have a bedroom. Either that or furnaces, more loot, you do you. And now we go on to finalize the shooting floor, starting with these incredible raid defense bedrooms, which will be familiar to you if you ever saw my favorite base. Roof peaks, turret pod, roof exit, and bedroom. Truly, it's an incredible amount of utility stuffed into these little babies. Okay, so now just add frames in these positions, close the top, create some mighty useful peaks by combining straight roofs and triangle roofs. Oh, and how cool is this? The Grail is now fully built up. But up to this point, you only really had to upgrade 2 foundations and 4 walls. All other blocks remain accessible for upgrades, offering you complete control over your base progression in the wipe. So let's progress to the final stage and fulfill the Grail's awesome potential. It is said that sometimes you have to break something to make it better. So break your external TC connections, and then break your main TC. I'm not pranking, just bear with me as we upgrade this foundation to sheet metal and replace the TC from a bit of an extreme angle, making sure that its corner is just beyond this second line of dots. Now we want to upgrade this compartment, but we can't. So let's press F1 to open the console and type in this command. Look at radius 0.01. Magic! Upgrade this one as well. Add an armored door that opens outwards. And then you want to line the vending machine up with this wooden, you can see it through the red outline. So line them up and push the vending machine straight in. Rotate, put something inside, and all being well, you should be able to access not only the TC, but even the code lock. And this should work fine with HQM, but if you cannot access the TC, immediately rotate the door frame and that'll fix it. Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, and don't forget to immediately reconnect your externals. Okay, now upgrade these ceilings to HQM, this alcove to sheet metal, and you can add a vending machine here as a kind of rich man's honeycomb. Then HQM the chute, and up we go to the second floor. Here, except for this shelf and door frames, upgrade everything to sheet metal before closing the loot room. And on the third floor, upgrade every wall, floor tile and ceiling. On the outside, you sheet metal the base core, and you're done. Which, by done, I mean this is the thumbnail base. There's a bunch of optional upgrades that you can make as you get richer, such as eliminating top-downs, which tend to be a good raid path on most bases, mostly eliminating grubby foundation soft siding, and for myself, a full metal shooting floor is always a wipe goal. Now, a compound will be 6 or 8 walls on each side, which I highly suggest you first practice on a creative server. And if you do add a compound, also add some attachable items in these positions, thus preventing grubs from placing twig platforms. The Grail. I hope it serves you faithfully. 5 bunkers, that high-tech shooting floor, and the raid defense bedrooms. But what does it for me is the pure, almost miraculous cost efficiency. And I hope you find it as awesome as I do. Now, if you want to learn more about building in Rust, I cordially invite you to check out the rest of my channel. Hope to see you in the next one. But until then, goodbye for now, and blessed be.